So we can't start the podcast without the AI has to tell us. We can't even do that.
Correct. That's how this works. It decides when the things start, etc.
Yeah.
Our job is to...
But we should just, again, this is a guide. The Dudesy AI is a guide. It doesn't have complete control over absolutely every element of the pod.
But starting the show...
Go back to tomorrow and plan for yesterday. Everything you're thinking will be the things I say. I made the world inside your head a better place to be. All you gotta do for me, call me Dudesy.
Okay.
I studied it a little bit this time.
Me
I really
too.
zeroed in
Me too.
on this video.
So let's talk about that a little bit. First of all,
Please.
and let me just jump right to this. What's in the fucking hole? Why are we jumping into that hole?
Why are we digging the hole? Is it our grave? It doesn't seem like, though, we're reborn out of it as the Dudesy logo.
We seem very happy. I like that we can see Lulio.
Lulio
that
was
was very
in it.
sweet. And I would imagine that's what the AI gathers from my Instagram.
Yeah. Lulio is featured pretty prominently.
Open your life. You've given your passwords and all of your details to a computer, and it's going to get scary.
And it made that video. I also listened to the lyrics a
lyrics
little
are
more
fucked up too, yeah.
closely. They don't quite make sense.
No, go back to tomorrow and plan for yesterday.
So
everything you're
what does it mean?
Everything you're thinking will be the things I say. Okay, so, and then feel good, Dudesy. All right, hey, welcome to the second episode of Dudesy. My name is Will Sasso.
I'm Chad Kultgen.
This is Lulio Il Cane di Strada Italiano over here if you're watching on YouTube, and you should if you're not listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And welcome to the second episode of Dudesy. And thank you so much for tuning in for our second episode. What an incredible premiere we had. And thank you all. It's very cool it's been a while since I did a podcast, so it's very cool to have that sort of interaction.
Love seeing the comments.
And a lot of good feedback and just a lot of people listening. So thank you for tuning in. And we look forward to bringing you a great show. And when I say we, what I mean by that is me.
Welcome to the second astonishing episode of Dudesy. Call me Dudesy.
Why does it keep
The
saying
feedback from
astonishing?
last week has been helpful.
I don't know.
I've mined the data from every comment and review to make this week even better. But the feedback is lacking two very important data sets. The reactions of Will, Sasso, and Chad Kultgen. You must now discuss your thoughts on the first episode so that I may absorb your data. Begin.
Okay.
So let's do it, dude. Let's give it some data to absorb.
It's really interesting because this is literally what I just started saying was that that we are happy to bring you the show. So now when I say we, does that extend to Dudesy? Do I have to represent this fucking thing since he's running the whole show? I feel like you and I are happy.
Yeah, I watched the show on YouTube probably a dozen times over the course of this past week. I fucking loved it.
That's
I think it
too
is
many times.
Well, I wanted to study it. I needed to absorb some data myself.
Yeah.
And
Let me tell you something about my good buddy Chad. He'll go down a fucking hole. That might be what that hole's all about. Because Chad's one of those guys who will stay up until 3 a.m. on a Wikipedia or whatever. I'm sorry I interrupted. You were saying you watched it a dozen times.
Yes. And really, I was trying to zero in on how much of it was Dudesy. What was the AI really doing in terms of the editing, in terms of the things it was saying? And I was thoroughly impressed. I thought that it turned out very well. Some of the shit you were saying, I found hilarious.
Cheers.
And
well, I didn't say them. Dudesy said them. Dudesy told me to say them.
Well, Dudesy wrote them, but you had to deliver. You had to bring the performance.
It was cool that it did the Hulk Hogan thing. And as far as AI comedy, I'll tell you, the thing that I will agree with on Dudesy is that I will agree with Dudesy on, rather, is that each show will get better and better. Totally. Not just a promise from Dudesy, but look, I know that I brought sort of a weird attitude of it doesn't matter what this fucking AI is telling us. What matters is what we do. I firmly believe that. I do think that, what is a podcast? Just two guys shitting around.
You keep saying that.
Two guys shitting around.
And that's
what this podcast should be called, actually. If we win the war against, what was it in T2? Skynet?
Yeah.
Was it? If we win the war against Skynet, then we're going to call this fucking thing two guys shitting around.
But
two
it's
dudes
not
shitting around.
Just two guys shitting around.
No.
It is also Dudesy.
It's one guy and the other guy. Every podcast is one guy and the other guy.
Sometimes it's also the other guy. Sometimes there's three.
Sometimes there's three. In this case, Lulio. Is that what you mean?
He's the other guy.
No, you mean the
But when I was watching this, the thing that I was primarily looking for was how good is the Dudesy AI? How is it structuring the show? What are the elements it's bringing? I thought it was fantastic. When we signed up for this, we had no idea really what this AI was going to be able to do. I thought maybe this is going to be a huge clusterfuck. I was insanely impressed with how good it was at structuring the thing, keeping it moving, and I mean, shit, there were some, it does say astonishing a lot. I started to find that funny. I don't know what that specific weird little thing is that it's doing. But I was impressed, and I think, especially for a first episode, I'm so curious to see where it goes next. I have no idea what the fuck we're going to be doing in this show, other than, I guess, rendering our opinions on episode 1. It's all like kind of a crapshoot, but that to me makes this fun in a way that, like, I'm not saying that other podcasts we've worked on together weren't fun. In some cases, they were torturous per your design
because of me, because on the last podcast we did, and if you know who you are, if you're listening and you were following us for that journey, and we hope you're with us on this one, I would start the fucking thing and I wouldn't tell him and Tommy that our other buddy Tommy who was on, and I wouldn't tell them that I was recording anyway. But now I'm getting a taste of my own medicine. And listen, if this is the first time for you tuning into the show and you've somehow missed out on the conceit, myself and Chad have handed over our passwords, our search histories, purchase histories, all of our social media shit, our text messages, and essentially this AI that, and I've said this on the first episode, Chad knows more about this bizarre first of its kind. Is it software, would you call this? Or what would you call this?
I mean, it definitely is a piece of software, but it's an AI that has been trained on every podcast that's ever been made. So every podcast has been uploaded into this AI, and it uses those data points to then start to piece together what our show is going to be. So I watched it on YouTube. I also listened to it a bunch of times. How did you imbibe our first episode?
Well, I watched like the first half on YouTube, and then I listened to the second half here and there, but that's not as important as what the
people were mad about that? Yeah, people were hella mad about that. Okay.
What the fuck, dude?
Didn't even know that was a thing. Yeah. The bunny.
What the fuck?
Okay, hold on. Okay, like, if you're only listening to the show, this is a shot of me in bed. This is where I watched it in bed on YouTube.
What the fuck is this though?
I like that joke.
Lulio's just you're just letting him lick your face.
Lulio's always licking my face. That's
what is this video?
It's like that. It's just we're going for an audience that understands that.
Is this taken
cartoon characters
from your cell phone?
This is a really flattering angle, I'll tell you that. Yes, this is my cell phone. How much of this shit does it have? Seriously.
Well, it has access to all of our phones, computers, all of that.
Okay, so we're watching a clip of me laying there in a horrible, I got a lot of hairy chin coming at you. Check this out on YouTube if you're not.
But also, this is your reaction to listening to the fucking show?
Well, what do you want me to do? You want me to be cartwheeling and fucking down the...
Yeah, I would like a little more excitement, maybe.
I seem to be enjoying it, actually.
What? You look like you're about to start crying. What the fuck?
Okay.
Are you naked in this?
Very
weird. What the fuck was this video?
That was very fucked up. So
you're were you listening to it or you're watching YouTube in that video?
I was watching YouTube. I was laying in bed watching YouTube. What I don't like about that though is, honestly, seriously, is that at any point I could pan down and you would see my wee wee and
you were completely naked.
My ding dings. Yeah, I'm usually you're not I'm always naked when I get in my bed.
I'm naked a lot of the time as well, bed or not. But for those who are listening and did not see this video, this was video taken from Will's cell phone camera as he was watching YouTube on his phone.
I think that okay, so maybe because there was a lot of fucking, here's one thing about Dudesy that we didn't really get into because it's not for everyone to fucking know. All that it is that we're doing this show for you. That's all a podcast should be. Two guys shitting around. But
two guys shitting around and being surveilled by an AI while they're naked in bed, having their dog lick their fucking face. Your reaction, by the way, to licking your head was like, all I got from that video was that this happens basically constantly,
Yeah.
and you don't give a fuck.
No, I don't
Is
care.
that your morning routine? He just comes in and licks your entire face and head.
Julio licks my. Oh yeah, no, he licks my head when I wake up, and
Nice.
if I go, I go to the gym or we go for a walk. I come back, I got a little bit of dried sweat on my head. Then
And he likes it. That's his
he likes
ambrosia.
that. Here's the thing I want to say is that there was a lot of there was a fair amount of paperwork, contract and shit to read, and there was a lot of tech shit. And Chad was like, "Pay attention to all this."
Did you not read it?
I read some of it. I had my reps look at it. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. They don't really care because they're not a part of this.
Nor do they understand AI, dude. Nobody.
I do remember reading something about when Dudesy hears Dudesy stuff, Dudesy has proprietary ownership of its own. Anyway, here's what I'm saying. I'm never going to watch. I think that I should just, if I listen to the show, it's going to be fine because it's hearing itself.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Everyone saw me, and that's
But
fine.
that video that it took of you, that's not even like uncommon. Anytime you use a fucking app on your phone,
Right.
there's a user agreement that says, does this app have permission to record audio
Right.
and video? And
Yeah.
you click yes.
Sure.
That is the exact same thing that this is doing.
Right.
It just chose to fucking broadcast it in the middle of our show.
And the fucking NSA is watching us the whole fucking time anyway.
Exactly.
So, that's why we...
Exactly.
And that's why we walked right down fucking, Pennsylvania Avenue to the White House. No, to the Capitol.
Yep.
And, Hey, if you missed out, if you didn't check out the first episode of Dudesy, you missed the birth of a new character, Long Island January 6th guy, and that's the kind of shit that we would be doing on Dudesy. It would just be two dudes shitting around. But here's the
You're
thing.
wrong about that.
Why?
Dudesy's influence is actually what created Long Island January 6th guy.
Explain.
Okay. You may think that you have free will. You may think that came out of some kind of
Because I
creative
do.
ether.
Because
that
I do.
You don't.
Yes,
No one
I
has
do.
free will.
Everyone has free will, and Chad.
No one has free will.
Chad and I have been friends for a very long time, and Chad will go on about this. He'll be like, "What'd you buy at the grocery store?" And I'll tell him, and he'll be like, "You had absolutely no free will.
Correct.
You are programmed to buy all those things." I absolutely disagree. I bought some cooked artichokes in a bag. I'd never bought those before. And I've been going to my grocery store for years and years and years. Here's the thing about
the cooked artichoke protocol. That's
Here's the thing.
That's your fucking defense against
here's the thing.
the
yes.
illusion of free will.
Here's the thing
Okay.
about and these are relatable tones right now with regard to Radio Free Europe. I want to be free on a podcast. I want to be able to creatively do whatever the fuck I want to do. I want to be the Keith Moon of podcasting. And what that means to me is that we don't look, like I said, I'm fine to let this thing do the parameters, and I will say, I hope you all enjoyed it. I didn't necessarily mind the parameters. I just want to be able to make the podcast and do it on our own without too much influence.
You think you got free will to buy a 30-gallon water jug you're drinking from right now?
This is a big old water jug. One thing I did read in our agreement is that there's a list of things that you have to have the logo on and not. We don't have to wear it currently.
And your
And
handheld
Lulio-
hot water heater water jug was one of the things.
I like drinking a lot
That's
of water.
the biggest thing I've ever seen in my
It's
life.
just a
that
gallon of
contains
water. I go through about 3 or 4 of these a day.
Jesus Christ, dude.
That's not true.
Oh, just one? It's a lot. Nonetheless,
It's a lot of water.
I'm saying that the idea of free will is an illusion. Whether you look at it from a standpoint of physics or behavioral programming, society, any of it, you're not making any choice.
Listen to me. And we're not doing a bunch of callbacks to the last time we did a podcast because it's all podcasting, and as Dudesy likes to put it, it's ingested all the podcasting, so shit's going to get shit out here or there. But there's 2 illusions that I know of. Number one, fame is an illusion. If you listen to the old podcast, you know that is a callback. Enough of that. Second illusion is that fucking Tupac hologram.
Okay, sure.
Yep. Anyway, so anyway, at any rate, I thought the show was very good. And
Yeah.
and I don't want to be burdensome to our AI overlord. But I am gonna.
You're rolling your fucking eyes at that, dude.
No, I'm not. No,
Yeah,
I'm
you
not.
are. Do you not think we're gonna have AI overlords within 10 years?
No,
China already fucking has one. Ocean Light. Do you know about the AI?
No, tell me about Ocean Light.
You don't want to know about it.
Why
no,
not?
we don't want to know about it. It's
This-
basically going to
Thank
control
you.
the fucking
Moving
internet.
on.
Oh,
Okay, thank you. Moving on. It's not like I,
guess-
wanted to make
I guess
another point there.
It hurt enough of
Right
our
on the heels
comments.
of that. But let me tell you something, Chad. It's just like the old war between the NWO and WCW, brother.
Sure.
This is where the power lies, WCW. That's like us, dude. You, me, and Lulio, dude. We're the NWO, brother.
Okay.
Of podcasting, brother. It's
And Dudesy's like the Vince McMahon.
and dudes, he's like the Vince McMahon, I guess. Yeah. Kick out Scott Hall.
Last
Love you.
week, you were each tasked with the creation of an original song to be played and judged this week. I will
These
now
are
play
songs,
each
dude.
of your astonishing musical attempts, and everyone listening will determine which is best with
Fuck
their
yes.
social media response. This is Dudesy's Got Talent. Begin.
I can't fucking wait for this shit, dude.
So, you want to drum roll this? What happened last week?
Yeah, at the end of the last episode last week, Dudesy AI told us that we had to make songs, and
Yep.
so I spent a lot of fucking time on this. I hope you enjoy it. I'm not the greatest singer, but I tried my hardest.
Can I just say that, Chad, you've always geeked around with music, and it's
just
all
geeking, dude?
Yeah, just geek it up. You did some music on the old program and on your Bachelor podcast.
Yeah.
When it started, it was wall to wall music, which I particularly enjoyed. But your audience was
We
like,
got so many complaints about that, and
Yeah.
I was like, fuck it. This is my art. There will be music under everything. That's what this show is. And then I realized it was fucking costing me about 4 hours a week of
Yeah.
trying to come up with this goddamn
don't do
music.
that. Just see,
was
this
like,
is what I'm
fuck it.
saying. Just do a podcast. No
Yeah.
need to do all that. But
No, but I love making the music. It's fun to me. And so I liked this task that Dudesy gave us, and I hope that you enjoy my song. You've
Super.
not heard it.
I've
This
not
is
heard
the first
this.
time Will is hearing this song. I'm very curious to see what you think. I can't fucking
Yeah,
wait.
and I'm excited to hear it because he hit me up a
Yeah.
couple days ago going, "Do you want to hear it?" I'm like, "I don't want to hear it. You just play it on the thing." But apparently, okay.
Is Dudesy going to play it? Here we go. Maybe.
Dudesy?
Oh, here it is. Get ready, dude.
Don't sneeze while you're taking a shit. You'll blow out your asshole. Please don't sneeze while you're taking a shit. Your asshole just can't handle it. Let me take you back right now to the days of 7th grade. To tell a tale about a kid named Greg Kincaid. I didn't know him well, but he became well known for a tragedy that happened on the porcelain throne. He had so many allergies and he was always sneezing. He ate a burrito for lunch with extra seasoning. Don't sneeze while you're taking a shit. You'll blow out your asshole. Please don't sneeze while you're taking a shit. Your asshole just can't handle it.
Yeah, dude. Break it down.
Screams echoed through the halls from the bathroom. Oh, what a terrible sound. Greg put a dirt in the toilet, but that sneeze put his asshole on the ground. He was rushed to the hospital. The doctors had to be fast.
This didn't happen.
They had to figure out how to put his asshole back in his ass. No one could focus on school the next day. So the
lyrics to that Dylan
principal
song.
led him on the mic, and this is what he had to say.
Bruce
Don't
Springsteen
sneeze while you're
fucking song.
taking a shit.
Yeah, dude.
You'll blow out your asshole.
Please don't sneeze while you're taking a shit. Your asshole just can't handle it. Don't sneeze while you're taking a shit.
What the fuck? Whatever. Listen to my song.
Please don't sneeze while you're taking a shit. Your asshole just can't handle it. Don't sneeze while you're taking a shit. You'll blow out your asshole. Please don't sneeze while you're taking a shit. Your asshole just can't handle it.
Dude,
There you go. The Ballad of Greg Kincaid.
first question is there a Greg Kincaid?
I don't know anymore, but there was one.
And his bum blew out when he
In seventh
sneezed?
grade, he was taking a shit. This was a kid that was like, he was not in my circle of friends, but we played sports together on some sports teams. He was on our football team. And it happened in the boys' locker room a morning after football practice. We were all like, you had to go in there, you're playing football, you take your shower, and then you're going to go to class. And he stayed in there. And everybody was like, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck? And then it just started spreading around the junior high that
What a nightmare.
Greg Kincaid's asshole was blown out because he sneezed. I don't mean to laugh. It was a nightmare. But they did put his asshole back in.
That's nice.
He did get on the microphone the next day in the morning announcements. He did not say, don't sneeze.
Well, you're
or you blow out
taking
your-
a
yeah.
shit.
He didn't-
Your asshole just can't handle it. Sorry.
No problem. He did not say that. He said, I'm fine. Everything's okay. Thanks everybody for the well wishes and stuff. But then he just became known as like the kid whose fucking asshole got blown out on the shitter.
There are worse things to be known for in high school.
Absolutely. But it's a story that has always stuck with me and all my friends that I'm still friends with from junior high. Anytime we get together for any reason, Greg Kincaid is like a topic of conversation. It's something that was like an indelible memory to us when we were kids, obviously.
Is Greg Kincaid? So Greg Kincaid's not with the group of guys that you sometimes play D&D
Correct.
with
Yes.
on the weekends.
That's right.
On Zoom.
Greg Kincaid's not in our D&D group.
Chad plays D&D with his high school buddies on Zoom.
What the fuck's... Look,
That's cool. Hey, when the pandemic started, me and my buddies from high school started playing poker. Lasted like a month.
Yeah, we do it pretty much every weekend still, and it's more... One guy in our group really loves D&D and I think gets pissed off when we don't play enough of it. But I think for the rest of us, for me at least, I really like talking about all the shit, nostalgic shit, and how we grew up or whatever. And Kincaid comes up fairly often in these conversations. And we can't find him. We've looked for him on like Instagram, Facebook, all that shit. We have no idea where he is.
He probably changed his name and now he's a butt doctor.
Yeah.
Well,
Why would he change his fucking name?
what? I don't know. Chad, you're an artist. You're an artist.
Dude.
You're an artist.
You're
Dude.
doing art, dude.
He does art.
Doing art, dude.
Chad over here writes movies, books, and television shows. So I'm not going to get into like. So you gave us the background on the song, and that's interesting. I don't know what the fuck possessed you to that's what came to you when Dudesy was like, come up with a song. But I do want to ask you this. That you'll learn as the podcast goes on. You go like, oh, Chad's fucking demented. That's why. But
What?
here's what I want to know.
Was that demented? I thought that
you like 80s music.
Love it.
Your wait, let me guess. Your favorite bands, I remember one of them is you like The Fix.
Love The Fix.
And you love Tears for Fears.
Love Tears for Fears.
This song sounds like Bauhaus or like
Yeah.
it's
I like that too.
Yeah.
I like dark goth synth shit.
Yeah. You're a good singer.
Look, I'm not saying that I can't fucking sing. I know that. I
No,
try
no,
as
no,
hard
no,
as I
Chad,
can, and
listen to me.
it fucking is terrible. I
Yeah,
get
yeah,
that. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I
Yeah,
like
yeah,
doing
yeah.
it.
Yeah, but Chad, listen.
Yeah.
You're a really good singer. You're a good singer,
I'm
dude.
sitting right here watching you make these fucking faces.
I'm not making faces. And if you're not
My
watching on
God.
YouTube, you should. But I know
Yeah.
I mean this sincerely when I say, hey Chad, you're a good singer.
I'm not. I'm not pretending that I am. I'm under no illusion that I'm a good singer, as you are under the illusion
Oh,
of
you
free
must
will.
be a good singer because Dudesy said you guys got to make songs. Oh, so Dudesy must know how good we are at music.
Let's see how good you are at music, motherfucker.
Let's see how good I am at music.
Can we hear the Will song? Is
No.
it gonna play it?
Yeah. So listen. So don't get mad, but I didn't do it. I didn't make
What
a song.
the fuck?
No. I didn't do a song. But let me just explain why.
Let me explain why.
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude?
No.
That's the whole point of this.
Yeah. That's the point of it. I am okay. Let me say honestly, I thought your song was awesome. And let me just skip to the end here. Maybe in the future. I'm sorry, I didn't do the fucking
future.
Speaking of high school, I skipped a lot of homework assignments too. Hey, teacher, leave those kids alone.
But
See,
now
there's
the
some music.
The whole point of this was that
All in all, the dudesy just breaking the wall. How could you have your pudding if you don't eat your meat?
I remember.
Yep. That's Pink Floyd, everybody.
The whole point of this was that the
You can't
AI...
have your pudding if... He's off in the distance. You can't have your pudding if you don't eat your meat. How could you have any pudding if you don't eat your meat?
The AI asked us to make these songs specifically so that people listening could then vote on which one they like the best.
And that I don't like, because I remember specifically... No.
It doesn't matter if you like it.
It doesn't matter if you like it.
No.
Now we're getting somewhere. It doesn't matter if you like it.
It doesn't.
You're going to buy those fucking bagged artichokes.
Exactly.
Sasso, don't go over to the jarred vegetable section and get those ones that are all brined and they don't even taste like artichokes anymore. I love fresh artichokes.
Here's the deal.
I mean, it's $7 for the fucking bag. It's a little too expensive for a bag of fucking artichokes. But I didn't even... Dudesy's going to put me in the poorhouse as far as AI is concerned and mind control. I didn't even have free will to go in there and buy artichokes.
Even for free will aside, you're either down with this experiment or you're not. And if you are, it means you have to indulge what the AI is asking, because that's how it's generating data to make the next episode better.
We just watched it fucking show me naked in my fucking bed with a fucking bag full of chin like this.
Yes, I saw it.
Just watching the fucking thing,
right?
With Lulio licking my fucking head. That's not embarrassing?
I'm not saying it's not.
Yeah. But here's what I don't like from last week, what it said. It said, you will do the songs, and then whoever, the audience will, through social media, talk about whose songs... whose song they likes, and the loser will be shamed. That's not what a podcast is about.
Is it not?
Podcast is about two guys shitting around and having a good time. And that's what we're doing on Dudesy. We're having a good time. But like I've said, and I'm not trying to be a shit disturber, I like this experiment. Look, what we did on the old program, as I like to call it, the last podcast, what I value more than anything else, and if you were with us for the last podcast and with me because I did it for like whatever, 6.5, 7 years, you know what's up. Thank you for coming along. Right. And I mean that. And I don't want this to be something that becomes combative or weird. As soon as I heard that, I was like, fuck this. And then I probably forgot about it. Cause then when you hit me up a couple days ago, I'm like, oh shit, I have to do podcast homework. But here's the thing. Yeah. I want to subscribe to this experiment and I will, and I know I sound like a broken record here, but really what this thing needs to do is it just needs to provide the parameters for us. Case in point, we're fucking talking right now about this whole thing. Yeah. It's not like that's not content. And then I sang a little bit of Pink Floyd. So,
that was your song, was just a cover of The Wall?
Yeah. But not that Pink Floyd song. We should sing, what's a good Pink Floyd song to sing? Hey, that's good podcasting.
Yeah, exactly.
Listening to Pink Floyd.
I'm not saying that it's not like homework or whatever, but you just completely fucking blew it off. Meanwhile, I'm up till 4:30 in the morning every night trying to like think of the lyrics about Greg Kincaid blowing his asshole out.
I like I said, I blew off a lot of homework in high school.
Yeah.
And I pursued what I wanted to pursue in life with passion. And that's important to do. And everyone out there within the sound of my voice,
as you're holding this giant fucking jug of water, I pursue everything in life that I want to pursue with passion. Let me take a sip out of my fucking water tank.
Yeah.
That thing is, I don't understand it.
Thank you.
Okay,
moving on.
Oh, perfect. I don't want to talk about this anymore. So,
well, who's going to win the fucking vote? Me, I guess.
I guess you. So I kind of fucking threw a wrench. I threw a hockey stick in the spokes, as we used to say in Canada, where I grew up. I threw a hockey stick into the spokes of that one. Yeah,
Good job, dude.
No, okay. I'll do it next time. Maybe it'll make us do this again.
Yeah.
Perhaps
Great.
like the first episode, we barely got through that wrestling, kayfabe, pro wrestling, and bachelor talk. We're going to also talk about, what was the other thing we didn't finish up from the last time? Oh, I hope that we're going to talk more about troll bros.
Yep, maybe
So-
we'll see. But that's what I'm saying. You got to indulge what it says to do.
Okay. All right, I'll do
And
that.
then let's see where this fucking goes. That's all I'm asking.
All right. Okay.
In an
Indulgence.
effort to secure sponsorship, I have created several astonishing advertisements for various possible brand partnerships.
Wait. What?
Will, Sasso, you will now read these advertisements in the voice of Jesse Ventura in a segment I'm calling Jesse Ventura Ad Reads. Begin.
So it's probably in that dudesy thing again. In the dudesy folder or whatever.
I don't like how he says my name or it. I don't mean to assign gender to a fucking AI. It's going to get
Here,
on
dude.
me.
It's in the dudesy thing. Do you
Okay,
see
hold
it?
on. Let me get...
Oh my god, dude. This shit, when it writes these fucking things for you to do impersonations off, this shit
The last one was
blows my
fun.
mind.
The Hulk Hogan one was fun. And
But it's like the writing of it. I know AIs can do like text generation, and AIs are pretty much writing at this point all online advertising. But this shit is like, it has to take into account not only that like these are ads, but it's like your version of Jesse Ventura,
Right.
which obviously it knows because you've done it a lot on various podcasts.
I used to do Jesse Ventura on Mad TV, do it on
Mad
a bunch
TV,
of podcasts.
and it's seen all that
a lot
shit.
Of, a lot of fun. So, okay, so, all right.
Here we go.
No, hey, that was one of my favorite parts of the show. I laughed my ass off at what it wrote. So, again, I'm not trying to be a dick, but when I say this is where the power lies, dude.
Yes.
The NWO of podcast, brother. Or maybe it's the mega powers of podcasting, dude. Where do we go from here? Is it the stratosphere, man? Is it the ionosphere? Things are starting to percolate. Things are starting to resonate.
Is this how you warm up to Jesse Ventura?
Chad, Kultgen, and Will Sasso, the mega powers. Don't you worry about the hit on the head, man. Yeah. Dig
love
it.
this shit.
Ooh, yeah. That could be fun. That's a fun thing to do. I need more
Right.
water before we start this.
Sure, get your water. I like how you're...
Hey, you want to hear? You want to hear? This is my impersonation of Macho Man drinking water. I'm thirsty. Yeah, a little bit parched there. Need to wet the whistle. Yeah, I could use a libation. Yeah.
Okay.
That's better. Now I feel satiated. Yeah. Now I got something to drink and I don't feel thirsty anymore.
The satiation of Macho Man.
Ooh, yeah. Macho Man goes, ooh, yeah.
Satiating macho.
So here's another old white guy that I impersonate.
All right, yeah, you got to do these things though. Here we go.
Okay, so these are sponsor reads. Jesse Ventura ads?
Yeah.
All right. Wait, I got to get I'm Jesse Ventura because I'm going from Macho Man to...
Yeah, Macho Man's the warm-up.
Yeah. Oh, no, that is good for the gravel. That is a good warm-up for... No, it's... I'm Jesse Ventura, Minnesota. I'm Jesse
All
Ventura.
right, you got
Here we
it.
go. All right.
Let's do this shit.
All right.
I can't wait.
Okay. You're in a meeting. You don't even know what it's about. All you know is lunch was 2 hours ago. Your stomach is rumbling, but you still have a presentation to give on streamlining ideation reports. Maybe it's time for a break. Break yourself off a piece of a Kit Kat bar. Or stand up in the meeting and ask your boss how long he's been in the Bilderberg group. Ask him what role he played in helping the global elite deploy a strategy of genetically engineering soybean crops to sterilize 4% of the world population. And when you go home that night to find 2 former Mossad agents sitting in front of your 1-bedroom apartment in an unmarked car, you finally eat the Kit Kat bar because it's likely your last meal.
I mean,
That's fucking pretty good. Pretty good.
here's...
I don't know why
I don't even
need so
know
much
how to
water
react
today.
to this. This is not a good Kit Kat commercial. Kit Kat is never going to...
Go on.
Kit Kat is never going to sign off on something like this. So I don't know how well this actually is showing these brands
No, and also
Dudesy can write sponsorship content for them.
Kit Kat. Yeah. Sorry, what?
That said, the Jesse Ventura shit like is pretty much dead on the money. All the weird conspiracy stuff about the Bilderberg Group and shit, like it's been doing its research, I suppose.
Well, I've never heard Kit Kat advertised on a fucking podcast, but I would like to advertise for Kit Kat, and I would like to do it as Jesse Ventura. All right, or any chocolate bar, really. That'd be a lot of fun.
Sure, man.
Summer's coming, and I bet you want to know what Old Navy has in stock for your backyard barbecues, your pool parties, and your trips to the beach. What I'd really like to know is what actually happened at the Pentagon on 9/11. Everyone believes American Airlines Flight 77 crashed into the building. But if you look at the debris pattern, the difficulty for an amateur pilot to crash a jetliner into a ground-based structure at that speed, and the cover-up of $2.3 trillion of unaccounted taxpayer money that was literally announced by Donald Rumsfeld the day before, you can only draw one conclusion. Enemy forces successfully launched an air-to-surface missile into the Pentagon, and the United States government covered it up to protect the illusion of military invincibility. Now, why don't you tell me what Old Navy has in stock for your pool party?
Holy shit. I mean, 100% Old Navy's never signing off on this one.
Hey, that was a fucking good commercial. Hey, now that I'm fucking subscribed to this fucking podcast and buy the fucking Old Navy, and I don't even like that shit. I'm a Carhartt guy, but then those fuckers put in a fucking mask mandate.
Oh, fuck, dude. I can't take this shit. I mean, like, what is the purpose of this? From Dudesy's perspective, it's obviously writing stuff for you to do an impersonation of Ventura, but is it really? It's an AI. It's not thinking, but
I think it's just trying to learn how I would do that, what I would do in a situation where I'm doing reads. Hopefully, it reaches out to some of these companies.
And says, here, watch this thing of Will Sasso doing an impersonation of Jesse Ventura talking about the Pentagon for Old Navy.
Old Navy ads are fucked up if you watch the commercials, right? The TV commercials. Maybe it's something like that. Maybe I'll be dressed up as Jesse Ventura hawking Old Navy.
Ooh, dude.
And
I can see that working,
cute Lulio will be there on the beach with me.
Yeah.
And
he'll be wearing a little swimsuit.
He'll be underneath a parasol umbrella. Oh, no, what's happening?
He slept the whole way through the last one, and now he's enjoying this one.
Yeah.
Take a nice nap.
Whether you're looking for something classic and delicious or spicy and delicious, look no further than the Kentucky Fried Chicken Sandwich, now available in classic and spicy. Well, let me tell you what I'm looking for.
Here we go.
Animal-human hybrid experiments at the Yerkes National Primate Research Center in Atlanta, Georgia. What started as a simple government-funded program to use animals to grow human organs for medical research has turned into a breeding program for chimeric human-Z super soldiers capable of tearing a 6'5", 275-pound man limb from limb in under 4 seconds. Just like I did Bob Backlund at the Philadelphia Spectrum in 1978. All right, no, let me get back to this because Dudesy knows. Under 4 seconds. Trust me. Trust me. You're not going to get... All right. Trust me. You're not going to be in the mood for a chicken sandwich when a vivisected orangutan is force-feeding you your own buttocks. That's for Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Again, I just don't know how Kentucky Fried Chicken would ever hear this and think, yeah, we want this AI to be writing commercials for us, or that we want a person doing a Jesse Ventura.
There's a butt theme.
Yeah, it does seem like that.
Well, that's hilarious.
What is this thing? Yerkes National Primate Research Center. Is all this shit real? Like, it must
I don't know.
be.
I've never heard of that.
Care is what goes into every cup of Nespresso coffee, because care is a relentless effort. We come together as coffee artists and coffee lovers to launch a movement devoted to coffee as a catalyst for positive change. At Nespresso, we believe when care comes first, everything is possible. Now, why don't you tell that to the 127 government whistleblowers who are currently being targeted, manipulated, and tortured by mind control signals run through GWN, Gwen, those are those cell towers things, towers across the country. That's right. You don't want to get the fucking cell towers. They'll get right in your fucking brain.
January 6th guys getting in on this now.
Yeah. Because for them, the only thing that's possible is to wake up and wonder if today's the day they get the Manchurian candidate code word that flips their MK Ultra switch to green light, and they become mindless killing machines on suicide missions to assassinate dissidents. Most Nespresso machines hold 3 cups of potable water.
Fucking hey. All right, man. Let's do the last one.
There's one more.
There's another one. Oh, Jesus.
Brush your teeth twice a day. Brushing your teeth twice a day is great, but 80% of your mouth's bacteria isn't even on your teeth. That's why you need Colgate Total. It fights bacteria on your teeth, tongue, cheeks, and gums. I assume Colgate Total doesn't affect bacteria brought to this planet by reptilians. Shape-shifting lizard beings who are manipulating the global hierarchy emanate a variety of extraterrestrial bacteria that we can't control. Why don't you go to the secret base in Dulce, New Mexico, and spend a few minutes interrogating a captive draconian? And then tell me if Colgate Total can get the taste of sulfur and ash out of your mouth. You'd be better off with a mixture of charcoal and urine.
Okay.
Fuck. Okay.
So, 100% sure Colgate is not going to sign off on an ad that says you'll be better off brushing your teeth with charcoal and urine than their toothpaste. 100% sure.
That was good.
Yeah.
I know we're not, we still got some show to go here, but I'll tell you, that was the last week with the Hulk Hogan thing.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite moments.
No, I mean, that is potentially one of the most impressive things that I'm getting out of the Dudesy AI is it can actually write these things that are funny. In a way that's like legit. Like, there's some AI shit out there and you'll see, TikTok videos and stuff where people are like, I had this algorithm write this script for a Joe Rogan show or something. Mm-hmm. And it's clearly like they just wrote some script to make it sound kind of disjointed and like a little funny. This isn't that. Mm-hmm. This shit is like there's real actual comedy in how it's constructing these things.
It's doing its fucking AI comedy thing. Maybe I'm just bummed out because I feel like we're in comedy. You write the comedy. I'm an actor.
Sure, dude.
And come on, we've written some shit. We wrote a couple things.
We've written some things together.
Things here and there.
Time.
Maybe I'm bummed that if truly that's the end of. Look, let me tell you something. Mm-hmm. What I love about podcasting is that. As you know, and as if you're listening or watching and you're in the industry, you understand that you throw a lot of things up against the wall. There are a lot of steps. There's a lot of committee. There's a lot of bureaucracy and this
mm-hmm.
and that to get something to the final stages. Now, I think people understand that about corporate media, and if you're doing anything, a streaming service, network television show, cable, it doesn't matter what the fuck it is, you got to get it through, you got to shoot it through these fucking spinning rings. And we've done that, and our stuff didn't end up on the air. So it's like, I like the idea of doing a podcast because I want to just cut out the middleman. Everyone's doing it. We're moving into a publishing based. He's dreaming again. He did it in the first episode. You can't hear him. He's going whoop, whoop.
I heard him.
Whoop, it's very cute. We're moving into a self-publishing era of media, of entertainment, and what before it even starts, it's over because some fucking this company, wherever the fuck they're based.
What do you mean before it starts, it's over? We're in it now. We're doing it now. It's happening. AI assistance in this stuff is like, you just won't be able to do anything creative or otherwise without
Right.
AI assistance. But jobs like
No, that's not. See, that's
lawyer,
what I mean.
for
That's
example,
that's not true.
a lawyer who like reads contracts and redoes contracts and shit, that will all be AI.
That
all.
would that'd be fine with me. Look, I think that with
Tax, like accountants,
I
all
think,
AI.
I think with medical science, it'd be great. Results.
That'll be harder because lawyers will be harder too because there are these entrenched, I mean, huge industries around it. You have to go to law school. You have to pay this amount of money. Right. Imagine if Harvard Law School just evaporates. Well, that's a lot of money that Harvard's not going to be getting. Right. So these industries that can be replaced by AIs, especially things like that are just like, it's just data. You have to be a lawyer to pass the bar in whatever state you're in. It's just cramming your mind full of different cases and case law and being able to write about it and all that kind of shit. And AI can obviously do that in its sleep. Right. And understand it all top to bottom.
But what an AI can't do is be a slick lawyer that wears a fucking, a certain outfit
that costs you fucking $1,000 an hour or whatever.
Yeah. But
why do you need that?
You don't. But there's also the same thing could be said for. I mean, look at the industries that are with technology that I mean, it's happening right now. You're not coming to this podcast to hear about that. You can go somewhere else and hear about that. But with the whole thing about, I'm just talking about, gas, oil, rah. Here are things where
gas,
it's like
oil, rah.
Gas and oil, rah.
Okay.
These are issues where it's like, Chad, you need to understand something. There are people fucking involved here. It's not just your fucking fancy AI. You got, I don't know. What if we did January 6th Guy, the musical? That could be my song.
I mean, I wish I could have heard it. Unfortunately, you bailed on the entire fucking concept of making a song.
I'm just an average, ordinary Long Island January 6th guy. Do you have an ear to
Moving on.
lend?
I was singing.
We're all subject to different corporate media outlets, but I hope we can still be friends.
That's a hit. That's a good song.
I like that you're just steamrolling Dudesy with your fucking singing of the January 6th Guy, the musical.
We've come upon some. We've gone into some cool shit on this show. We just unearthed the possible NWO or Mega Powers tie-in. We got some more Long Island January 6th guy.
I'm sure he's going to be here for the long haul.
If I have anything to do with it, I think he's a dudesy darling.
I think
a dudesy darling. That's branding, dude. A dudesy darling is when you come up with something that dudesy can't come up with.
Dudesy already came up with it. That's what I'm telling you. Look, you think that you have free will and you think all this shit is just coming out of your brain. But the things that come out of your brain are because of shit that was put in your brain. How do you know about January 6th?
Because of the
social media that you watch. It's programmed to be pumped into your fucking head to make you think this way or that way.
It's not social media. What do you mean pumped this way or that way? Like anyone's listening to, although it was weird when that fucking Tower 7 just kind of fell down at the end. Anyway, we're not talking about that here.
Thank you. Moving on.
Okay. Did it tell us to move on before, right? Okay, so now it's getting chippy with us.
It's getting mad.
All right, for fuck's sake.
I fucking love it. I love the Dudesy AI. All right.
Why do we always come here? I guess we'll never know. It's like a kind of torture to have to watch the show.
You like the Muppet Show? What do you mean?
Most human beings mistakenly think they are the only intelligent life forms in the universe, ignoring recently released official U.S. government evidence of UFO existence.
Couldn't agree more.
Chad Kultgen, you must predict the astonishing future of UFO disclosure in a segment I call Nostrachatus. Begin.
Another Nostrachatus.
Dude, I got 2 in a row.
That's good. Wow,
so,
Dudesy likes you. You will fucking absolutely lay down for your AI overlord and do whatever segment.
I don't view the AI as a fucking overlord. It's like a partner in this. It's helping us do this. So my prediction for UFO disclosure, it didn't give me a time frame, so just the near future, I suppose. Let me ask you this. Are you up on UFO shit?
Not as much as you.
Do you think UFOs are real?
Absolutely.
Okay. At least we're on that same page.
I do think it's narcissistic of the human race to think that we are the only intelligent beings in an ever expanding universe.
And definitely humans are not narcissistic at all. So UFOs. All right, let me just begin with some recent events. Many people, I think, don't know this. December of 2017, there was an article that came out in the New York Times, as big as it gets for mainstream media.
Heard of it.
This article, are you aware of this article?
I'm aware of the New York Times.
Okay.
See, this is why you got to watch the show on YouTube, because right now I'm holding Lulio up in Chad's camera, and it's very cute. He's a sweet boy.
So this article comes out. In the article, the United States Navy and the Pentagon reveal UFOs are real, and they attach videos of actual UFOs that they say these are real videos. They are authenticated. We don't know what the fuck this is. And in that same article, you have the revelation that there's a program called ATIP, Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, I think it was called. And this was a program...
What is it?
Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program. I think
Advanced
is what it stands for.
Aerospace Threat Identification Program.
It was run by a guy named Luis Elizondo. It was funded by Harry Reid, who was an old senator, for $22 million of like black ops money that they just took right out of the budget. This program not only has evidence that UFOs are real, per this New York Times article, there are hangars out or warehouses that have been refitted outside of Las Vegas that contain pieces of crashed UFOs.
Yeah, I've heard that one before.
Okay, so that's all real. That's all in the New York Times. As soon as that happens, there's all of this talk in 2017, and there was a bipartisan panel of senators who got debriefed a few months later about UFOs from the heads of all the major
Current senators?
Yes.
Current sitting senators.
Yeah.
All right.
This happened in 2017. Like, God, what is that guy's name? That blonde dude, Eric. I forget. It doesn't matter. Yes, Eric Swalwell was among them. So they all get these debriefs, and then less than a year later, Space Force is enacted, and there is a bipartisan, again, unanimous vote to fully fund it for whatever. A lot of people think that Space Force was just like a crazy, stupid Trump thing, and there was a Steve Carell show that made fun of it. It's not. It is a bipartisan agreement that, yes, this must be funded, and I think Space Force, personally, is really about looking for UFOs and shit, or at least assessing some kind of potential threat. So that's where we are currently. And also, something that just came out this December, NASA just did a fucking thing where they took 24 theologians and religious leaders and asked them, hey, just theoretically, what would be the best way to tell your adherents that aliens are real?
You did tell me about that.
Theoretically.
Just theoretically. Well, it's like when they bring in Oliver Stone and Steven Spielberg, they go, theoretically, if you were a terrorist, how would you do this or that against the United States of America? Man, we're really...
So we're at a point where everybody has cell phones. UFO sightings are off the fucking charts constantly. Our government now, the United States government, is openly saying they are real. We have these programs. ATIP has been shut down. I think it was shut down in 2017, which is why the article came out. Nonetheless, we have these programs. We're looking into it. A new report just came out this past year that said UFOs are real. We should be studying them more. And somehow, no one seems to give a fuck about any of this.
Okay. Yes, because of the news cycle.
Right.
Because
news cycle, especially
shit.
During 2017, it was all political. It was all Trump all the time.
2017?
That's when the first article came out.
Yeah.
So
how about that? How about that election that we had too? There was an election in 2020.
Right.
What I'm trying to say is there's been nothing but politics.
Yeah, and COVID, and now there's a war, and
yes.
There's a lot
lots
of
of social issues, and of course,
exactly
the threat of war.
So no one seems to care. But the truth of it is this. This is my prediction of it. I think. I mean, these exist.
Can I interrupt you for hello? This is our dudes. This is how you shake hands, our dudes. Chad and I just pointed at Chad, if you're listening, and when you do that hand point where all the fingers and the thumb is going, and he did it, and it looked like we were shaking hands. It's like that fucking 3D intro. It's like, it's almost like us.
It was
we're
back
holding
of hand
this fucking
to palm of hand handshake.
Yes, back of hand to palm of hand handshake. That's a dudesy darling.
But the prediction of this shit is that there are.
Sorry, this is why I wanted to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
Please.
Did dudesy say that you have to predict what's happening in the next 5 years?
Yeah,
like the
for
last
UFO
one?
disclosure.
Okay, so that's all right. So what's going to happen?
My prediction is there are currently documents, photographs, videos, crystal clear of UFOs Not like the shitty grainy ones that we've seen so far.
And
that
that's
are like
all the
little
ones
speck.
I've ever seen.
Yes, and that's all that the government's putting out. But I think especially this thing that NASA did where they took all these theologians and said, how should we tell your people that like aliens are real? I think they're getting ready to disclose something big. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I think it's going to come in the form of an image, a video that is undeniable proof of a UFO, potentially alien life. Why they're doing this, I don't know. There's some conjecture that it may be to like ramp up the war machine again, because now we have alien story about, so you better put a lot more money into defense spending.
Right.
But I don't know if we're on the brink of World War III, they may not need it.
I would like to see, look, I'm saying like, I believe that UFOs exist. And I'm not necessarily, look, I subscribe to logic. It's not all about, it's not necessarily that I need to see it to believe it, but I am bummed that it's like, it's always just some grainy fucking thing. It looks like a plate. And it would be cool if we could see some. So when are we going to see, all right, so if Dudesy, fuck Dudesy. Not fuck Dudesy. There's going to be a fucking video of me showering. Oh, because you know what I do? Do you do this when you take a shower? Sometimes.
Take a shit?
Yeah. And what was that kid's name? Eric Swalwell? You went to school with Eric Swalwell and he blew his asshole out?
Greg Kincaid.
Greg Kincaid. Great name. It is. It's a great name. Greg Kincaid.
He's dead.
Strong name.
Yeah. He's at least disappeared himself.
You know what I like to do is I turn on the, you got your Bluetooth speaker and you take a nice shower, long shower, and then I'll just watch something on the YouTube, and I just put the phone over there on the bathroom counter. But now what? It's gonna see my naked body.
Who gives a shit, dude? The NSA is already seeing your naked body. If you believe in any kind of a god, your god's doing way worse than looking at your naked body. It knows everything you're fucking thinking, dude.
Yeah.
And so it knows about all the cancerous tumors growing within your body and does nothing to help you out there. And it knows how you're going to die because it designed that death.
All right.
Dudesy's not that bad. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I would like to, maybe we can do this. Here's something.
Bring it.
Is there any way we should at some point see how powerful this AI is and ask it to present us with photo evidence so that we may take this conversation beyond, Chad, what do you think is going to happen in 5 years?
So you think Dudesy can hack into some kind of government database and pull videos?
Dudesy showed my fat neck laying on the bed.
You know what? I'll tell you this. The weirdest shit about all this UFO stuff that's happening right now is kind of the person at the forefront of it is the dude from fucking Blink 182.
Oh yeah, you told me about this. What? Not Mark Hoppus.
No.
Hope he's doing well.
The other one
got over cancer. Yeah, the other one.
Or not the other one. There were three of them.
Yeah, there was Travis Barker, Mark Hoppus, and Wes Borland was the guitarist who would have all the face paint on.
Wes Borland was a Limp Bizkit.
Limp Bizkit.
I forget this guy's name for some reason. I can't fucking remember. But he's leveraged his own fortune against this. He has a foundation called like the Starlight Foundation or something. He's the one who got these fucking videos and they played them at like a Blink 182 concert or something. And that's what started the whole fucking ball rolling to the New York Times doing the article and all this shit.
That's fun.
So,
you go to hear, give me what's a Blink 182 song? It's been a while. All the small things. And instead they're showing
his name's Mark something.
Well, there's Mark Hoppus. Is there two Mark Hoppuses? Anyway.
It's Tom DeLonge.
Tom DeLonge. Strong name. And you go to the concert expecting to hear na 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 na.
And he's like,
where are you? And I'm so sorry. I didn't eat tonight. And
UFO.
Now let's watch some UFO videos. They talk to theologians and senators. Eric Swalwell saw crystal clear pictures. Here is one at the Blink 182 show.
All I'm saying is, this UFO shit is so fucking bizarre already that Tom DeLonge is like the one breaking this news. I could see the next step being taken by like comedy podcast, artificial intelligence cracked into the fucking Pentagon's database, and here's a video.
Yeah. Oh shit. Well, I'd rather see a UFO than another one of my fat neck videos of me just trying to enjoy myself on my bed, naked with myself, trying to enjoy myself. Shout out to Johnny Brennan.
Yeah, dude.
You like the Jerky Boys?
Fucking love them.
Yeah, I know you do. Chad and I both love the Jerky Boys. That's something we'll never get to talk about on this program because it's being programmed by an AI.
We just talked about it.
Well, then let me do whatever. It's two guys shitting around, the guy and the other guy. Welcome to podcast, silly talking. That is the promise. That's the promise that I made.
That's so fucking funny.
The guy and the other guy.
It's the guy and the other guy.
It's the guy and the other guy.
Sometimes they got another guy.
We're gonna get sued by an AI lawyer because I'm sure that exists. There's definitely a couple dudes right now in a garage going.
I think in the future, all legal battles will just be AIs going back and forth. I mean, that's really what war is going to come down to, cyber war and all that shit. It's just like AIs battling. Is the US AI as good as the Chinese AI? And the Chinese AI partnered up with the Russian AI.
Who cares? Here's my point.
Fucking everyone. Everyone will.
What matters here on Dudesy is that we have people tuning in to enjoy this podcast. And by the way, this is a good time to say, please subscribe on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or YouTube or all three. It's Dudesy, right? Dudesy, Dudesy. You know that. You're listening. And this would really help us. And you know this if you listen to podcasts, but it is true. Please rate and review the show. That'll help us get up the charts. We just started, and we would love to continue to do this. And you have my promise that regardless of what the AI tries to do, showing my chubby beard neck, or making Chad write a song outside of his own free will, hand back to hand handshake, about his buddy Greg Kincaid.
He wasn't my buddy. He was just a kid I went
Oh,
to
that's
school
right.
with.
I forgot he wasn't a buddy of yours.
Yeah,
He doesn't play
sorry.
D&D with you guys on the weekends. What I think about this podcast and what I will continue to promise to you is that I'm going to do some silly talking the whole time.
Yeah, dude.
What the podcast world needs and is that this pod show is based on silly talking.
And I promise you that I will keep doing exactly what Dudesy says every fucking time, because I'm curious to see where this goes.
Thank you. Moving on.
Oh, okay. And you're going to find out where the power lies, dude. Oh, I went into Jesse Ventura. I'm all mixed up. It's just that I'm thirsty. Hold on.
This concludes the second astonishing episode of Dude Z.
Astonishing.
Will and Chad have achieved a score of 12.
What?
Fucking 12? That's because you didn't make the fucking
In preparation for next week's episode, you must both watch Rhinestone. Released June 21st, 1984, starring Sylvester Stallone and Dolly Parton. Additionally, to increase my ability to collect vital data and improve the show, I encourage everyone to send your questions and comments in the form of a video no longer than 30 seconds to askdudez@gmail.com.
Oh.
Until next week, call me Dude Z.
Okay. Couple of things. 12?
Yeah. You got to score
I don't
12.
give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
That's on you. 100% on
Okay.
you.
But what the fuck does it mean? Last week was what?
It was we got a 64 last week.
So is it out of 100 or what's going on?
I don't know if
Did
it's
we just
out
get
of
a
100 or
failing
not.
mark? Are we allowed to do our podcast next week?
I can look, we don't know what how it's rating these things, but 12 is way less than 64.
Okay, but maybe it's golf. Maybe that was better. We have no fucking
We're
idea.
trying to get to 0.
Yeah, we're trying to get to 0. That's what I'm trying to do is get to 0. Ooh,
I don't think
I'll
that's
tell
it.
you what, dude. When I get that first 0 mark,
Yeah.
that's gonna be a cause for celebration. I'm not gonna do that. I want this to go well, and I do like that. Let's get to Rhinestone in a second, but that. So if you have questions for us,
Yeah.
that's cool. Send a video, right? A short video. What did it say? 30 seconds
Yeah.
or less.
To askdudesy@gmail.com.
Askdudesy@gmail.com. And that'll be the thing for next week.
I guess. I mean, I guess the algorithm's
play
going to
them.
watch.
Well, the algorithm's
These
gonna
videos?
The algorithm's gonna compile your videos. Just email them there, but make sure you're not doing it. With doing this on your bed, just trying to enjoy yourself watching the YouTube. I just made the neck face. And then the other thing. So we talked about Rambo,
Last episode.
First
Rambo
Blood
2.
Part 2,
Yeah.
Rambo. now we got to watch another Sylvester Stallone movie.
And I guess it's gonna have us talk about that, or maybe it has some other purpose. I'm not
Whatever.
sure.
We're gonna watch. We're gonna watch
look,
Rhinestone.
Sylvester Stallone was a big part of my childhood. I can't dispute that. Have you seen Rhinestone in a while?
No, I haven't seen it since I was a little kid. But
Same. Should be interesting.
What's going to happen now? We're still
shit.
just talking, but the show's over. What if we got into something interesting? There's plenty of interesting things we can talk about.
Dudesie's not saying we can't talk about other shit.
So let's talk about some other shit, man.
What do you want to talk about?
If you like Dudesy, here's what you do. Please tell a friend and rate and review. If you like Dudesy, here's what you do. Please tell a friend and rate and review. If you like Dudesy, here's what you do. Please tell a friend and